Hey you, welcome back to the channel. And guys, today I want to talk about one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and that is Smallville. Recently there was an interview between Mr. Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum. We know who played Lex Luthor on this TV series Smallville, and Mr. Tom Welling, who of course played Clark Kent. A great interview. Um, Answered a lot of questions for me. As I was a fan from the very beginning of the show, and really wanted to see some type of continuation with Smallville, but understood the uh, great amount of time Smallville gave his fans. Like, you can't really complain. Smallville gave us 10 seasons. That's more than just about any show in the history of TV, and it was a superhero show. But what was so great about Smallville was that Smallville was the first of the kind of the first to lead the pack. In all of these well done CW superhero TV shows we've been grown accustomed to, from Arrow to The Flash, Supergirl, all of these Legends of Tomorrow, all of these superhero shows that are in recent times have gained traction really owe their whole lineage to Smallville, because Smallville came out the gates early 2000. I believe it was like 2000, 2001, something like that. And a lot of us over the years grew up watching Smallville, really got to get this story told about the struggles of being Clark Kent, and it was just an excellent show. One of those shows where I couldn't miss an episode. I was truly a devoted fan. But we knew that Smallville had its troubles over the years. We know that Michael Rosenbaum, who was a very important part of Smallville, after about 7 seasons, he left. And he did come back for the final episode, which I was very happy he did that. But he left, and then through the interview, got to learn a lot about the great amount of work and stress and struggles that went with doing Smallville for so long, and Tom Welling participating in Smallville. The amount of exhaustion, the 18-hour days. And so I encourage you all to watch that interview. Michael Rosenbaum does a radio show called Michael Rosenbaum Inside of You, where he brings on various actors and celebrities in his radio show. So fans had requested Tom Welling. They did that show. I think it was definitely one of his most successful shows. It looks like it's got about 10 times the views most of his shows get. And I really enjoyed the interview. But we got to hear some very interesting things. What's going on with Mr. Tom Welling, as Tom had, pretty much just been on hiatus, I guess, from acting. He did do, I think it was called Draft Day, and he got some praises for his role. He played a quarterback alongside Kevin Costner, and it was kind of like a comeback for Tom. I hadn't seen Tom in a long time after that, but the other exciting news is that Tom Welling is now starring in the TV show Lucifer, and Lucifer is a very funny, entertaining show. I was watching Lucifer every episode, but I kind of just got too many TV shows going on, just couldn't watch everything. But I did enjoy Lucifer when I watched it. Tom Welling's on there. I don't know much about the character he's playing. I don't. He may be a police officer, I'm guessing, or some type of detective. But what's very interesting about Lucifer, for those of us who read the comic books, Lucifer is part of DC. He's one of the most powerful DC characters, but he is in the DC universe. And so Tom Welling has joined that cast. But also, what was very interesting throughout that interview that we got was that Tom Welling, who had pretty much been reclusive from doing anything, seemingly with Smallville, or doing any TV or movies hardly at all. In the interview, he didn't seem exactly opposed to, not doing anything related to Smallville. and where I believe, if I heard him correctly and understood correctly, that he gave some ideas about how various CW spinoff shows could maybe incorporate him in. Maybe someone like the Flash, as he's world hopping through the dimensional gateways they pass through. Maybe he can run across Kent Farm, and that would be kind of paying homage to Smallville, because they really do need to do something for Smallville, because Smallville really is the heritage of all these CW shows. Now CW does do these corny, cheesy soap opera teenage dramas, but the one thing that CW has perfected is obviously doing these superhero shows. They handed Supergirl over to the CW from CBS, and I believe that they did a pretty good job with Supergirl. I think Supergirl was going to be good for me, not only because anything to do with the Superman mythology, I like it, but I think that Supergirl was going to come out good because I kind of went in. I didn't know what to expect for Supergirl. I kind of had low expectations, and it really surprised me. I really thought they did a pretty good job with Supergirl and in introducing various actors. So one thing that was said during the interview with Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum was that it's not the same type show. It's not the same mood of feel, and they are right about that. Smallville is like at a level, it had actors. It was the first of its kind. It was about Superman. It's on a level that I don't think any of them can achieve. But I do think Smallville can exist in the Supergirl, the Flash, Arrow universe. All those shows to me have showed very serious moves similar to Smallville. And also, I remember Smallville. Some episodes had pretty kind of light, humor going, kind of cheesy a little bit. Some of them, not many, but some were like that. And so I don't think Smallville, it's not that they can exist in there, but also, the good news as well is that they have offered for Michael and Tom to come on the show. But I hope that, if I understood the interview correctly, they asked them to come on playing themselves, because, as we know how the CW works with superhero shows now, there are many versions of Earth. Like Supergirl doesn't even come from the same Earth as Barry Allen, who plays the Flash and the Arrow. She actually comes from like Earth 3. So Tom Welling Smallville could be like Earth 4. So Tom's not totally against it. And as Tom's working on Lucifer now, and he's working with some of the same people related to Smallville, I think it's not impossible that we could now see Tom, doing some stuff. And I hope he does. I hope he, he gives the fans what they want. They really want that. And Tom has matured a lot over the years. Tom now understands it's not about him. It's always been about the characters. It's always been about the show. Even though he's a very humble guy, very reclusive guy. A guy who's does just likes to do his job, go home to his family. He's not one of these Hollywood types. And I do again invite you all to watch the interview with him and Michael Rosenbaum. As he discussed how he got into acting, and you'll find that he's pretty much the opposite of these actors as we know them, like the ego type actors. So I really enjoyed that interview. And guys, so let's just keep our fingers crossed. We may get to see some return of Smallville in some fashion. Maybe not a TV show. Maybe he'll be on one of these CW shows, be included in the CW universe somehow. Or maybe we can just petition the CW to try to get everybody back, just to do one great Smallville movie with Tom Welling wearing the Superman suit, so we can just see one time how he would do fully caped up as Superman. Would love to see that. Let me all know what you think, you Smallville fans out there, the ones there from the beginning who kind of started this whole CW superhero thing. Guys, if you like content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, take care.